that I've placed this month. One I am actually currently in, and one we have already locked in a profit, which I will show you. So I've got the full proof here. I've actually done a bit of like an audit already on my past month. My past month was horrific. Not well, actually, in a few contexts, to be honest. I had made a couple of mistakes. We overall finished GBP USD down 10%, but it wasn't that bad reflected in our balance because we ended at $48,981. So it's not that bad. We're now sat at $50,481, which you will be able to see. We actually should have had another 4% plus on our account, so we should have only been down minus 6%. But it's not really only, that is quite a bit still. But yes, last month was our worst month yet. So anyway, these are the two trades that I've taken today. Yeah, it does say the date, nice. And I mean, you could go and have a look, on the charts yourself. But anyway, yes, so last month I did tally everything up. We did finish 10% down from where we started at, or just for the month, that was the trades. But like, it wasn't that bad reflected in our balance. Of course, if we started at 50k, we would be down 45 grand, not 45 grand, sorry, 5 grand, but we would be sat at around 45,000. But that wasn't the case. Euro, we actually only finished -1, which was really damn good, because we also took, I think I've actually got it in here. This trade then gave us 3% because we were obviously therefore down like -4, and then this trade brought us back, and I haven't even showed this or whatever. So like, I'm not really being consistent with my YouTube and stuff, but I don't really give a shit because I'm not a YouTuber, I'm a trader. And the only reason I even have this is because I know how it sounds when you have literally made what you make in a month in 30 minutes. To other people who aren't familiar with trading, right? I don't really want to classify them as normal. I don't think that's very good, to be honest. It's a bit condescending, and you sound like a bit of a twat. So let's just say people outside of this endeavor, they don't understand it at all, right? And I mean, for example, that Discord that I was just in, those guys, like, they sometimes make grand in a couple of minutes, and then they're done. Sometimes more, sometimes like 3,000 in a couple of minutes, so where else pays like that, you know what I mean? But obviously not every 3 minutes you're making that, but within a given day you can be done in 3 minutes, and that's you done. Then you come to the charts tomorrow, you might lose a grand, you're still up 2. You come to the charts the next day, you make a couple grand, there we go, you see what I mean? So anyway, so this is the breakdown for this trade right here. So the reason, this is just beautiful. But the reason why I'm also breaking the trade down and not just showing the profit and then is because, number one, it kind of solidifies what I already know, and then also if anyone does want to listen and they can maybe take something from it, who knows. And it also then shows that what I'm actually doing isn't just pressing a button and then getting lucky. But to be honest, I don't think you could get lucky this consistently, to be honest, and consistently show profits. But it also doesn't hurt to just show the trade, right? It's kind of good. So anyway, I started on the weekly, obviously, because it's the Monday, and the most recent weekly bar close holds good significance within the first couple of days of the week, right? Because it's like the first quarter or first Yeah, first quarter of the week, right? So like then the next bar close was the 3-day. You can see this the way that market participants were interacting with where the market was sat at within throughout the course of this past 3 day, how they were willing to trade the X underlying product at this region of prices that you can see where the market had been sat at within this 3-day time period. And how they interacted with the market at this region. This region is this, where the market was sat at, the marketplace, as people sometimes refer to it. You know, there's a lot of cliche terms in trading, which if you really then think about what the term is, like for example, price action or market behavior, or in this case, marketplace, like it's the place of the market, you know what I mean? So like I don't have the market on here, but like I'm gonna turn it off because it clogs my chart up, and I don't like to. I just don't want it on my chart. I just don't. It's my preference. This is obviously derived from the futures chart data, and this where the marketplace is sat at currently is like mimicking it close relatively the same prices that the real market is at, where you can actually buy the pound and dollar, or rather you can actually buy pounds using dollars, or you can sell pounds for dollars at, for example, this rate that's on here that you've got available, which is defined by whoever is willing to buy at the highest price limit with contracts and put them contracts there and offer them there, or people who are sat on the offer. In this case, like I did use that term right, by the way, because like people are like offering to buy on the bid at that best bid, right? Of course, you don't really refer to bid like things in that case. You would just say people are bidding, but like in the offer case, which is the best offer, aka the highest price, the lowest price, which someone is willing to passively sell, meaning they're like passive, they're waiting around, they're happy waiting for that specific price to sell X amount of contracts at, defining the best offer. Whichever price that is the price that market participants have available to buy from and at, and therefore trade at, which if they do, they'll then transact at that price. Volume will transact, aka someone buying, someone selling, that's volume, and then a trade will execute, and then the price will tick to that last traded price, right? And so therefore this 3-day bar covering whatever price action goes on, which price action is a derivative of market behavior. Market behavior is a derivative of people's intent to trade X underlying product at the region of prices X underlying product is sat at on X given occasion. So therefore it's showing you how traders are willing to participate at this region. You can see wick rejection from the lows, showing that people are rejecting trading on the sell side here, and they would rather buy. This wick rejection, based on purely price action terms, is likely to have a bit of a reaction, where to hold specific price digit, which would be the weekly, push to probable point from where the next weekly bar is likely to push to. What whole price digit resides in the path of which the next bar is likely to push to. Now the 3-day backs that up, the daily backs that up in the context of what consecutive bar pushes in play. That's also the case with the 12-hour recent bar close prior to kill zone, aka 7 till 10 UK time. But this slight wick rejection does hold a little bit of significance in the context of you would definitely want to be aware, okay, 12-hour daily is slightly wick rejection, but it's a bit minimalistic because overall, relative to the consecutive bar push and play, it's a newer complete opposing bar flip. Relative to the TT trades wise and consecutive bar push wise, you've got a strong case for the market pushing to the high. At-hand push wise, looking at that solely, it does look like it could react, but then in the context of the higher time frame loom resides at this region of prices that the market sat at on this given occasion, how they're willing to trade at this region relative to the context of the 3-day and weekly. They're inclined to trade primarily on the buy side over the course of that next 3-day and 1 week time period, right? And so therefore the sort of price action that you're likely to see occur over the course of that next 3 day is primarily gravitating to this point, aka the whole price digit that resides in the path that the market is likely to push to. Now if you go to the most recent 9-hour bar close, this is brilliant. It looks great to just push higher. I probably should have had the 9-hour objective marked here actually, to be honest, and that would just be here. Really straightforward and simple. And then that's just the point that the market's likely to push to relative to the most recent 9 hour, in this case, relative to the time frame chart perspective being analysed, of worth of info comprised of what sort of price action went on within the most recent 8 hour time period, showing you how most recently traders had decided to interact with the market at where it was sat at on this given occasion, how they were willing to interact with the contracts to find the best bid and offer. And however they did so, revealing whatever interest they had, shows you what sort of intent to trade they have at this region. Now we know what sort of intent to trade exists at this region relative to the higher time frame loom, and then we're just basically looking to back that up with all other time frames, seeing if, as of this given day's key time period, relative to all time frames top down, traders are willing and just as inclined to trade with the prices in this region as what they're likely to do so on the 3-day, building a comprehensive case for the market prices that the market sat at as of 7 being paired up with in the particular way that is what is reflected on the higher time frames, giving you a strong case that the market's likely to be, for example, bought up or sold lower, meaning people could just buy up all the offers, or sell all the bids, right? And just based on what intent they have to trade and do business at this region, based on the price action that's unfolded, showing you what sort of behavior they have at X region. And then you're also considering the region relative to like the region in general of where the market's at, so like this region in general, how they traded like, and then what region this region in general falls as relative to the consecutive bar push and play, and how, and in all looking at how that most recent weekly bar closed at this region in general relative to the consecutive bar push and play, and then also SM push and play, and seeing how overall the context of this region, like what it is and how it's being treated, how are traders willing and inclined to do business at this region, how they're willing to trade in that in another case. Anyway, you can also be a bit more lenient with the 9 and 8 hour objective because you've got such a nice case for upside. And anyway, the 4 hour, I was looking at this, that there is a slight wick rejection in the 4 hour. It's a bit prominent, to be honest, if you look at it relative to the body and then you look at it relative to the wick. So you're comparing the size of this. Yeah, and then you compare it to the size of this opposing wick, it's quite strong. And then anyway, you're just filtering through, seeing if you see the market setup probably okay. This is a bit iffy, it looks kind of good for lower, but then overall we still remember in the context of this region, again, this looked good to come lower. So then you're just looking at the 1 hour. Of course, I was looking at the 2 hour in the context of the most recent 2 hour close, but I was just in my head, I had the chart look like this in my head. I was just like looking at how visualizing how it would be, because obviously in advance you're looking at it like that. Anyway, of course, I've mentioned a couple times that my experience, like I can look at a chart, for example, as of this most recent bar close without scrolling to the left, and how I would deal with it, right? Anyway, then you see that, so that's what I'm going to do here. So this is the 1 hour most recent close. You would just want to see a nice 1 hour close below here. That's not sufficient. And then anyway, as of 9, you drop down, and then you're waiting for a nice sufficient anatomic bar close. What does that imply? Just you've got the open high low close being very nicely bullish. Anyway, you drop down as of 9. Do you have that? No, you're still waiting. You're also looking for a nice LQS. You've already got that. You're below Frankfurt low, and then all time periods, because it would be a low anyway if you're looking for longs. Anyway, and then just looking, and then here you would get in right here. And then what you do is you then mark out the low at hand. What I'm going to do is just do this. So then what you're doing is you're marking up the low at hand and seeing what pip digit that is. So it's 12, right? So then you go into the next whole pip digit. Is 15 enough? No way. It's 20. To be honest, yeah, because if you like zoom in a little bit more, yeah, and then obviously you're also comparing that nice clean digit that makes sense with the price action to the left, right, which is this zone. To be honest, what I would then do is I'd probably just put it a bit lower. I'll just go about there. And anyway, I actually missed the initial entry, but because I'm using a 1.5R, 1 to 1.5R, and noticed it didn't go to 1.5R, nowhere near. If it maybe went to like here, or not even there, even if it went to like here, actually probably here, I'll probably have just cut it, to be honest. maybe anyway, who knows. But yeah, then I ended up getting a re-entry at like here, which I think I can actually you can see in my chart. Well, yeah, you can anyway. You can see I got right in at the low. Obviously, this is a 5-minute chart, so it's gonna look a bit different. But like, yeah, I basically got in right at the low. So yeah, and then anyway, I TP'd it around here because that was the 1.5. So I could have obviously held, but no, I will just settle for my 1.5R as planned, which is another extra percent for me because I'm risking 2%. So yeah, anyway, that's this trade. Nice, very nice. So yeah, we're obviously in this euro trade. So this is like a real time thing. Of course, it is what it is. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. This was a similar thing. So we got confirmation as of 9, and we had no nice bar close up until here. Got in here. What do? You mark up the lower hand. I'll just zoom in. The euro analysis was basically the same, and it was actually even nicer, to be honest. But like, we were led to then see a nice 1 hour close. So then what you're doing is the whole clean pip digit that makes sense to go with. You compare that with the price action to the left. You've got this like zone here. I would say that that's fine. You would maybe want it a bit lower, and I'm pretty sure my stop actually is at 27, because I got a good entry. I can actually just show you because I'm not gonna. Yeah, my stop is at 26, so it's perfect. So this is my 50k account, and then if we go to the 968, I'm pretty sure it's also at 26. Yeah, nice. Okay, so why isn't my thing? What the? Do I even have it? Oh yeah, what the hell? My chart is like. Okay. Yeah, it's really windy here. I don't know why my 91191. What the hell? Like, did I get a shit entry or something? Oh, I think I've put like the wrong lot size on, to be honest. 486. My TP should be at 74. 074. My TP should be here. So, but then why is this? Okay, well, hopefully we can add a bit more to this position because we need it at 26. I mean, I'll still settle for this. It's more, isn't it? But like 26. Why isn't it making the thingy noise? There we go. Okay, so if the market comes down lower, I will put on like another bid to my position so that I've got no idea why it's doing that, to be honest, because we got a good entry. We kind of need like another $100. So therefore we need like, well no, because it's a 1.5. So therefore if we put on $50 risk, we're making 150. So therefore that would bump it to 800, 900. So we need like $50 risk, which then, but then that's gonna bump our position up quite a bit. So I don't really know what the hell's going on here. Yeah, it is what it is. I don't really know, but if I just screenshot my position and then send it into a different chart, just go here. I don't want to put everything in here. It's just a random Discord. I don't even know anyone really in there that much anyway. I'll speak to a couple people in there, but so yes, as you can see, this is this is the messed up account that I'm not going to sort out because he has only like $800. It's a bit weird what the hell's going on there. I don't know, but then this is the fine account. So yeah, you can see that's the position. So yeah, see how it goes.